Purpose content here, y'all, aka Jimmy J, aka J Legend, aka the best in the business. Yeah, we starting a little early, y'all. We got like a 2 minute stretch, but we back at it. Well, we here to get back what I was saying. Today we here to talk about can the Eagles repeat as NFC East champions? I believe they can, but we gonna get into that. Followed by we're gonna talk about the Eagles defense again, that little dabble, and and how the Eagles fare against the rest of the league. Let's get to it. When it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, when it comes to the Eagles, like we went to the Super Bowl, we dominated the competition when it came to the playoffs. We beat the Rams in the divisional playoffs. We beat the Packers. We beat the Washington Commanders. We actually blew them out in the conference championship. We blew them out. We just blew out and we also blew out the Kansas City Chiefs that we took the title from. Like we shredded them. They was no competition. Like we embarrassed them. They ain't had no answer for us. They couldn't stop Jalen Hurts. They couldn't do nothing with us. They just couldn't do nothing with us. So man, it was they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop. They did stop the run, but they couldn't stop Jalen Hurts from running. Cause they held Saquon to I think like 65 rushing yards, but Jalen Hurts got 70 rushing yards on him. So they couldn't stop Jalen Hurts from running for first downs on them. And the aerial assault on Jalen Hurts was just dropping dimes on them all day. So that's what led us to, and the defense also was lights out. Like we had like about five or six sacks in that one game. Yeah, we be sacking them like on every play. We had like about 4 turnovers. That's what led to us blowing them out. And then the dagger, the Devontae Smith, yeah, when he did that, it was over. So, but Eagles, they back on the road to finish off the back on the road to finish what they started last year and their repeat as division champs and hopefully Super Bowl champs. Because if the Eagles continue to do what they build off of what they did last year and have basically the same blueprint game plan, I can't see them not repeat. I think they're gonna pass the ball a little bit more, but you don't want them to get pass happy and be a finesse team. You want them to still pound the rock, hit them off with play action, hit a few deep daggers for the Devontae and AJ Brown. Dump some passes off to the Goddard in the middle. And that's it. And that's it. But the Eagles, it's just a long road. They just about to start training camp in the middle of the month. There's almost training camp side. They getting ready for the preseason in another month in August. So they still got their work cut out for them, but I believe they're gonna be the division champions again. Cause I wanna see what the audience and the fans think about the Eagles repeating. Cause nobody in NFC East has repeated in like 20 years since the Eagles in 2004 when they went to the Super Bowl with T.O. and Manette. That's the last time anybody in the NFC East repeated since Donovan Manette and T.O. Terrell Owens when they had Andy Reid as the head coach. That's the last time they repeated. And that was back in what 2005. That's the last time they repeated. So, but Eagles right now they just getting back to the fundamentals. They about to start training camp pretty soon. They just getting back to the fundamentals. I think the best course of action for them is to stay balanced like they did in the Super Bowl. They play like they did in the Super Bowl and play like that the whole year where they're a balanced attack team where they run the ball 25 times and pass the ball 25 times. That's the recipe. Then they start going where they throwing the ball 35 times a game. That's not going to really work for them. But they passing the ball 25 and running the ball 25 times. That's a fair that's a fair bounce. That's a fair pass to run ratio. And that's what you see out the Eagles. With a balanced pass ratio as they form up but the offense should be ahead of the defense, but and I think they should be good on defense. I don't know how deep they are at edge rusher. We already know. We should know who we expect out of Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt. We should have a good sense of them. And I believe they'd be good, even though people keep wanting to trade Nolan Smith, and they don't believe Nolan Smith is good enough. It's good because he ain't as proven as a guy like TJ. We ready to. That's what they've been comment. They were sitting there saying we were just ready to trade TJ Watt, trade Nolan Smith. Without knowing the contracts. That didn't make sense. Didn't make no sense. You ready to give up on a player before he got any chance to get a full season as a starter, even though he showed promise last year. He showed that he could be a legit pass rusher, legit edge rusher when Brandon Graham got hurt, and he did. So if he showed that last season, give him a chance to be a full-time starter, without trying to give up. The fans was ready to give up on Nolan Smith before he even got a chance to be a full-time starter for the whole year. But he showed that he could be an effective pass rusher. He had 6.5 sacks. He showed it. I said, imagine he would have been the starter for the whole season. He probably would have had 10 sacks, with if given a chance. Yeah, you gotta give him a chance. He got another year in the system. I think he's gonna be good. But you got the fans. They ready to trade him just because they seen a nice. But you actually gotta do do the math and do business. Right? You just can't, yeah, just want to throw away just because you see a new shiny without checking the numbers. You getting TJ Watt is it helped, but it's not the right move right now. You're gonna have to give up a lot for him, and then you're gonna have to give up the Eagles is not trying to pay TJ Watt $35 million. Yeah, that's not the move. Why would we give up on Nolan Smith when he could have a chance and we could probably pay him less? Yeah, the numbers don't add up. That don't make sense. And still, we said we ain't giving up players. Just be giving up players. You gotta get that man a chance to be a full time starter and see what he could do. But you gotta see what he could do. But these people, they just want to throw the whole tub out. They just want to throw the whole tub out. But you can't just do that. You can't just throw the whole tub out. But this is Crown Professor commentating. Catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.